I would like to know what happened the day of Chief Cervantes' presumed assault on Regent Winkler.
Oh gosh, where do I even begin? I went to the chief to complain about the electricity problem, then I encountered the regent on the way out. Then in his office, he pinned me to the floor and it was pretty clear what he was trying to do. He even slapped me a few times in the process. Then when Chief Cervantes arrived, he pushed the regent off me, which probably caused him to cry assault. I wonder about that regent all the time. And I've always questioned the president's decision since that man came along.
I know it all seems bad for you, but you're not the only one who's being attacked.
I'm dang aware.
I know you'll help us out in this case.
Alright, I just need to prepare myself for this, because it might get messy.
Wilson, are you sure this is a good idea?
You'll have to trust me on this, President. Breaking through this wall is going to prove a lot of help.
Wouldn't Melvin want to question why there's a hole in the wall?
Trust me, as long as he doesn't know who made the hole, we'll be fine.
This court is now in session. Stand up and read the accusation. On Tuesday, July 16th, Police Chief Cervantes has committed assault upon President Richard Winkler's regent, Melvin Winkler. Call the victim. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Tell us what happened the day of the assault.
I was only sitting at my desk when the chief came in enraged and tackled me to the floor. I think he hit my nose once. At least it wasn't bleeding. I object, Your Honor. Police Chief Cervantes is not the kind of person to go into someone's home to beat them to a pulp. He would only do so if necessary.
Objection sustained. Do you have anything more?
No, sir.
Then you may sit down. Call the witness. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Explain in your perspective what happened.
Here I was, outside the chief's office after complaining about the power outage situation, then I saw the regent. He dragged me to his office and started babbling on, sitting at his desk, like he's drunk. I think he had too much to drink before taking me back to his office. Then suddenly, he tackled me to the floor and got on top of me, as I struggled to get him off me. That's when the chief came to stop this horrid man's actions. And while the regent may call this assault, I used to be a lawyer. Chief Cervantes had a perfectly good reason to attack.
I object, Your Honor. The only people who were there that day were the regent, the secretary, and the chief. Therefore, no evidence can be presented to prove this true. Also, the secretary is known to be a crazy woman when under heavy stress.
But there's also no evidence that the day didn't go the way Mrs. Kennedy explained it. Overruled.
Nothing more for me to say about this matter.
Take your seat.
If there's one thing to understand, it's that I am not someone to randomly go into someone's office and start engaging in physical combat. I would only fight if necessary. And in this case, it is. It upsets me to know how stupid the regent is for laying the blame on me. But that was not the only bad decision he made. Though I won't go into detail about it. After Kennedy complained about the power situation in my office, she left the room. Then I heard screaming outside and I decided to check it out. Soon enough, Melvin was forcing Mrs. Kennedy to follow him to his office. I decided to silently follow them and eventually, I got there in time to see Melvin on top of Mrs. Kennedy. It was pretty clear what he was doing, so I had to get Melvin off the secretary.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Take a seat. Now if the lawyers were to stand up and explain his perspective on the matter, this would help the case go better.
I don't know myself what Melvin was thinking with his accusation. As the chief has stated before, this was not the only mistake he has made. Melvin has proven himself untrustworthy, and this has been demonstrated by limited possibilities of transportation, sealing the Platypolis border with a giant wall, and destroying the electricity from the power plant. I am unable to understand how he was even able to get a lawyer for this case, especially since they both have terrible views on politics. All I am saying is that the regent is the one that deserves to be punished, not the chief.
Thank you. I don't understand where this man is coming from, but what we got here is a disaster. I actually voted for Melvin to be president in that election, because I was his childhood friend. That was the reason I was his lawyer for this trial. In order for the legal system to work correctly, someone needs to be punished for a crime they committed. It deserves to be the chief. He attacked a government leader, making him a disgrace to the legal system.
Melvin's only the regent, not the leader.
Whoops, did I slip? But the action here should be just as punishable.
Now that we've heard the opinions of the lawyers, the jury shall now consider the verdict. The jury declares the accused to be guilty as charged. Well, that settles it. Court, don't bother finishing the court trial yet.